and we have a special guest here with us today. It's Trevor. Trevor, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Really great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in. DeLand Boxing. We were out at Port Orange boxing as well. I still got both places, right?
Yeah, they're going great. And, the Port Orange gym's been open a year and a half now. DeLand's been open 7 years.
Yeah, both great gyms. And Carlos goes all the time, and he's always posting about it and stuff. And I will tell you, I'm mad that it's so far away from me in Apopka because it keeps you interested, you know what I'm saying? And you mix it up a lot, and you don't make people feel like they're I don't know. You don't make people feel nervous about going there. You know, it's not intimidating. And you're aware of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, our slogan is you don't have to be a boxer to train like one. You come in there and we treat everybody the same, and we teach you how to box, and we don't make you feel intimidated.
Right.
Boxing's for everyone. Anyone can do it. 6 punches.
Yeah.
It's good to see you in here, Trevor. And, man, it's been I signed up to DeLand Boxing almost begrudgingly. I'll tell you why. I knew either I was going to bitch out or it was going to be a life-changing thing.
Right.
And so when Trevor had listened to the show, and this is probably what it must have been May maybe of last year before I actually signed on. And he's like, hey, Carlos likes boxing. He lives in DeLand. So he reached out to iHeart, and this iHeart salesperson, which I didn't know, she was like, hey, are you interested in doing this? Now, in my mind, yes, I was like, absolutely, 100%. I know I want to do this. But I was also nervous because I'd failed at other things before working out, right? And I was like, but I really
When you say failed, do you mean failed, or do you mean you got bored with it and stopped doing it?
I guess I'll say that sounds good too. I mean, that sounds better than
sounds
fail.
better, yeah.
I guess that's a pretty harsh term, but it was just one of the, I guess more so was like, oh, okay, I know if I sign up to this, it's going to be something that's going to be a challenge, and it would suck to take this challenge on, something I obviously love, something that's only going to help me, and that it's on me, and so I pushed it off, and I pushed it off. And I pushed it off till finally the salesperson that never even talked to me again was like, hey, are you done messing around with Trevor? He's really nice, and you need to get back to him. And I was like, you know what? You don't need to yell at me. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need this. I work out like once every month, so I'm good. I'm a softball coach. And I said, nope. Yes, I'll be there. And I throw it back. And I'm so glad I did, man. Trevor, you've not only become a great friend of mine, but, like, truly changed my life, man. And it's not like Trevor, first day, he got there, he's like, I'm going to change your life. Did you? You never did that. You did this, what you do to anybody that shows up.
He soft rolls it.
He soft rolls it. Tell him, Russ.
Yeah. When we went, and I was, I seriously enjoyed it. And Angelique was with us, and Ryan was there. And what I was really, really impressed with was the way he was helping Ryan, who didn't know how to punch, didn't know how to do a sit-up, didn't know how to do anything.
How to do a sit-up. None of that is true.
You do tap really light, and then Trevor's like, no, a little harder. And he was really working with this guy who was like a kid. And I was really impressed with the way he walked him through
I had a
it.
broken shoulder.
Oh,
excuses already.
Right.
A year later, excuses.
So did Tommy Morrison and Rocky IV, but he's still fought.
He didn't know how to throw a punch. Yeah, I didn't know how to do it.
Ryan, I figured if Lennon could do it, you could do it. I taught Lennon how to box.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of it, right? He didn't show up and like if you're in DeLand Boxing or Port Orange, if you don't cut it, I don't ever want to see you in the streets. He wouldn't talk like an old New Jersey guy because he's British, but
and Trevor, he was being fair to everybody,
yes.
but you don't have to be fair here, Trevor. Be honest with me. Who do you think that first time did better, Angelique or Ryan?
Oh, Angelique did. That lady works out nonstop and is a dancer at all times. Like she's the healthiest person on the show, easily.
Yeah, I mean, Angelique obviously is an athlete, but if you say who was the most improved, you've got to say Ryan.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's not athletic.
Well, yeah, because he's not athletic. Right. Okay, that's a very good point.
There's a difference between healthy and athleticism.
He's
I've
not
never
athletic.
said I'm an athlete. I'm a healthy person.
Although I did hear on the way in this morning, Carlos admit that he eats 4 to 6 Oreos a day.
Oh, yes!
I got to pick a bone with him about that.
He knows this because for a while he was getting my food log, and I never lied. I would be like 3 Oreos, so he knows this. But no, what happened was like exactly what Russ was talking about was. No, you just showed me I knew the basics, but you do it with everybody. And I see you do it when I work out, whether it's a mom or a son or a daughter, and it doesn't matter. You go over the basics. You're either going to like this or not. And, man, you know what I noticed is people who have a yearning to try something like this, if they stick with it, man, it's a game changer. And that's what it's been for me. So, Trevor, thank you, man, for everything you've done for me, your entire team. And that's why, he stayed on, a great sponsor of the show. And not only do you do stuff, obviously, for fitness and stuff, you actually put on fights, and I think that's really cool. And I told Russ about it last time and the guys that I think a lot of people probably know about travel ball, basketball, cheerleading, volleyball, but they're like, hey, how does a boxer make it? Well, it's events like this. Tell them a little bit about what's happening on Saturday night with the big boxing match.
Yeah, so I've been promoting amateur boxing shows for 30 years. It's a labor of love.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, these shows cost $4,000 to $5,000 to put on. So think about it. You got to sell 200 tickets just to break even. So it is a labor of love, but it's a way of allowing kids to fulfill their dreams of fighting. And there's 4 different kinds of people that box. There's the guy that comes in and says, I would never fight. I just want to do it for this fitness. And then in 6 months, he's like, oh, I think I'll try sparring. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I really want to try one fight just to say I did it.
Right.
So there's that kind of guy. There's the kids that are going to be the next world champions, and they start at 8 years old and they box. And this is their outlet to build their experience through amateur boxing shows. Someone like Floyd Mayweather, for example, probably had 100 amateur fights before he turned pro. Mm-hmm. So there's the next future world champions. And then you get the guys that used to box and they come and, man, you know what? I'd like to have another shot at this.
Still got it.
Yeah.
I still got one good fighter.
Yeah. And we got Masters Division for those people, which is 45 and up. So there's all these different demographics of people, and it's amazing. With our gym, even though 90% of the people that come to our gym just box for fitness, it's amazing how many people I see, and I'm like, hey, you're getting pretty good. You want to try some sparring? I mean, I tried to talk Carlos and get back in the ring, but he...
Yeah, when are you going to spar?
Oh, man. You know what? He did. You did try and get me, and I was
And you haven't sparred with anyone yet?
No, we've just done stuff in class where you're getting in front and you're throwing stuff, and even just that, like, just feeling the vibe of that, nah, man. I don't. Trevor almost had me. Several lunches, you're like, he was right there.
Seems like you would do it.
Yeah, but it's not the fight. What is it normally? How many rounds? 3 2-minute rounds,
It's
right?
only 3 2-minute rounds, but what people don't understand
Nothing
is...
to it.
Nothing to it, but
2
tell them
minutes,
why.
nothing.
Yeah.
I do 2 minutes all the time.
It's easy.
It's the weeks and weeks of training where you're sparring 2 or 3 times a week. So you're doing maybe 5 to 10 rounds, 3 times a week to lead up to that fight. It's not the fight, it's the training, the blows that you're taking. Now, obviously, in amateur boxing, you've got bigger gloves, you've got headgear. It's very it's very well governed by the USA Boxing Sanction Body.
With him, we got to protect the nose.
Yeah, this goes to the moneymaker. Come on. I want to break it, so then that'd be like, hey, I had to get it redone.
Well, I would be the matchmaker, so obviously I'll find his opponent, and I'm going to look after him.
Well,
I'm going to give him a good opponent.
That was the thing. I do totally want to do it, but my wife was like, hell no.
Oh, she said no.
My manager was like, hell no. My agent was like, hell no. My daughter was like, hell no.
Yeah.
And they rule they're the commission. They could outvote me easily. And Trevor was like, he had a wry smile on his face afterwards. He's like, God, I almost had you in there in the ring. So he wanted to train me stuff. But regardless, you don't have to be a boxer to train like one. I only go 30, 45 minutes at a time. Obviously, we talk afterwards.
Hitting bags and stuff.
Hitting the bags, and half of the class you're doing ab work, you're doing different conditioning, and I'm truly in the best shape of my life. We're going to talk to Trevor a little bit more here about just life in general. He's got
he's got a question for us that we'll do when we come back. Because I got a story about that I've never told on the radio.
Oh, awesome.
So about the question that you said, and if you want to get tickets for the amateur fight, how do you get tickets?
So you can call 386-675-2269, or you can email us at delandboxing.com. If you buy the tickets in advance, they are $5 cheaper. And also, we have 2 VIP tables left ringside. Great if you have a local business and you want to sponsor the show. $250 for a table. You get food. And you get to sit ringside as well.
It's fun.
And it's in DeLand.
Yeah,
it's
DeLand Middle School.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I do know one thing. Today will be a great day. To the top, never stop.
All right, we'll ask that question when we come back.